Hey guys, so today in this video, I want to talk about R. Kelly once again. Those of you who haven't seen my very first video about R. Kelly and about the Surviving the R. Kelly documentary, I will leave a link in the description below of that very first video when I talked about R. Kelly, just in case you haven't seen it. I advise you to watch that first before you watch this video. Okay, but anyways, in this video I want to talk about R. Kelly in an interview on CBS morning show with Gayle King, okay, and how he spazzed the hell out, honey, during the interview. I'm sorry, like, I ain't gonna lie, I laughed when I seen the interview. I really felt bad for him too, because it's like he was really in his feelings, and crying and really got emotional. And it's really sad too, because in a black community, when our black men cry and or scream for help, the black community, instead of grieving or reaching out and comforting him, we always laugh and we always say black men is weak and because they cry, and men can't cry and have emotions and feelings too, especially in the black community. I felt bad about that, for laughing, because he was very serious, seems like, in the interview. And I can imagine how he must feel all the pressure with all the media and, all the pressure coming against him. Not taking up for him or anything. I'm just saying, I'm looking at his point of view too, of how he feel with his emotions being involved. But yes, I want to talk about that. And I also want to talk about other recent updates on R. Kelly, what's been going on with him. I know I'm like 2 weeks late. I know, I never had time to actually make a video about this. Like, I never really have time to make videos anymore like I used to. But I'm trying, guys, so bear with me. I know I'm 2 weeks late, but at least I'm decided to make the video today. But anyways, so what I'm gonna do, I'm going to play the clip to refresh you guys' memories 2 weeks ago, and then I will be back with my commentary.
I am surprised that you agreed to do it. Why are you sitting down with us today?
I'm very tired of all of the lies. I've been hearing things and seeing things on the blogs, and I'm just tired.
What are the lies that you're hearing that disturb you most?
Oh my God, all of them. Got little girls trapped in the basement, helicopters over my house, trying to rescue someone that doesn't need rescuing because they're not in my house, handcuffing people, starving people. I have a harem, a cult. I don't even really know what a cult is, but I know I don't have one,
Have you done anything that you regret? Have you done anything wrong?
Lots of things wrong when it comes to women that I apologize, but I apologize in those relationships at the time I was in the relationships.
Have you broken any laws when it comes to women?
Absolutely not.
The 6-part series interviewed 50 people, family members, your former tour manager, numerous women who all claim that you abused them. Yeah. Are you saying everybody in that documentary was not telling the truth about you? Everybody?
If you really look at that documentary, which I'm sure you have,
I have.
Everybody said something bad about me. Nobody said nothing good. They was describing Lucifer. I'm not Lucifer. I'm a man. I make mistakes, but I'm not a devil, and by no means am I a monster.
I'm going to name the names. Andrea Kelly, your ex-wife, Kitty Jones, Lisa Van Allen, Lisette Martinez, Geronda Pace, Faith Rogers, Asante McGee. You're saying everything they said in that documentary about you is not true.
They are lying on me.
Why would these women say the same thing about you, that you are controlling, that you are abusive, that you tell women when to eat, when to go to the bathroom, when they can sleep, where they can dress? Why would all these women tell these different stories about you if they were not true? And they don't know each other. That defies logic to me.
Right. Until you hear the explanation. You can start a rumor on a guy like me or a celebrity just like that. All you have to do is push a button on your phone and say, so-and-so did this to me. R. Kelly did this to me. And if you get any traction from that, if you're able to write a book from that, if you're able to get a reality show, then any girl that I had a relationship in the past that it just didn't work out, she can come and say the same exact thing.
Are you blaming this on social media?
I'm talking about the power of social media.
In 2008, R. Kelly was found not guilty on 14 counts of child pornography after prosecutors in Chicago failed to convince a jury that he was a man seen in a sex tape with a girl as young as 13.
What do you want to say to your fans?
Last month, Kelly was indicted again, this time charged with aggravated criminal sexual abuse of 4 women, including 3 who the charges say were minors at the time. Have you ever had sex
No.
with anyone under the age of 17?
No.
Never.
No.
I have to tell you, it's so hard to believe that based on all that we've read.
I'm going to tell you something, Gayle. There's one thing. I'm going to tell you something. What the women said about you. What women said about me. So nobody's allowed to be mad at me and be scorned and lie on me.
Mm-hmm. So they're lying on you. That's your explanation. They're lying on you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You feel that people have maligned your character?
I have been assassinated. I have been buried alive. But I'm alive.
So I think the point you're making is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you have never held anybody against their will.
I don't need to. Why would I?
Well,
how stupid would it be for
anybody.
R. Kelly, with all I've been through in my way, way past, to hold somebody, let alone 4, 5, 6, 50, you said. How stupid would I be to do that?
I didn't say you were holding.
That's stupid, guys.
I didn't.
Is this camera on me?
Yes, it's on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense. Don't forget the blogs. Forget how you feel about me. Hate me if you want to. Love me if you want. But just use your common sense. How stupid would it be for me to, with my crazy past and what I've been through, right now I just think I need to be a monster and hold girls against their will, chain them up in my basement, and don't let them eat and don't let them out unless they need some shoes down the street from their uncle. Robert, stop it. Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. Robert. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. Y'all, I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this. I gave y'all 30 years of my career.
Robert.
30 years of my career. Y'all trying to kill me. You're killing me, man. This is not about music. I'm trying to have a relationship with my kids, and I can't do it. Y'all just don't want to believe the truth. You don't want to believe it.
At this point, we briefly paused the interview to give Kelly a moment. His publicist helped calm him down.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're going to let the camera keep rolling.
This is not true. It doesn't even make sense. Why would I hold all these women? Their mothers and fathers told me, we're going to destroy your career.
But Kelly's emotions remained raw.
It's real girls out there missing. It's real young girls out there being abducted, being raped, okay? They really are on chains. They really do have chains on their wrists, and they can't get out. Robert, and they're ending up buried in dead.
Robert, we have to have a conversation. Really, I don't want you just ranting at the camera.
I came here for them to hear me talk. But I need help.
What kind of help?
This is the kind of help I need.
Yes, what kind of help?
I need somebody to help me not have a big heart, because my heart is so big. People betray me, and I keep forgiving them.
You sound like you're playing the victim here. You sound like R. Kelly. You do. When I listen to you, it does sound like you're playing the victim
I'm just telling the truth. And the reason I'm emotional, Robert, and I apologize for that, is because this is the first time I was able to say something. Yeah. I've said nothing.
Well, we're also hearing from the family of a woman who lives with R. Kelly at his home. The parents of Joycelyn Savage say that the singer not only abused but brainwashed their daughter. R. Kelly denies that and claims it was Savage's father who gave his daughter to him at a concert.
I didn't go looking for a Joycelyn Savage. I was doing my show. He brought her and asked a friend of mine to put her on the stage with R. Kelly. Make sure she's on the stage. Mm-hmm.
But in a news conference this morning, the Savage family says they have no doubt that Joycelyn is being held by the singer against her will.
We went from seeing you or talking to you daily or weekly to not seeing you in 2 years. So that is a clear indication to us and as a mother that something's definitely wrong with this situation. And we won't stop until we have our answers and make sure your well-being is okay.
Well, joining me now is Renee Graham. She's an associate editor and columnist at the Boston Globe. Renee, I know you've been following R. Kelly's story very closely. I'm so grateful you could join us today. From Gayle King's interview, what really stood out to you, Renee?
You know, what was shocking to me about the interview is I think that R. Kelly and his people perhaps thought this would be able to paint him as a more sympathetic figure. And if that was the goal, I think it failed miserably. It came off looking like the latest chapter of Trapped in the Closet. You know, he was unhinged, he was overwrought, he was evasive. So you know, that's what really came off to me. It came off as someone who was trying to manipulate the audience the way he allegedly has manipulated these women.
You know, it was remarkable. So many people are commenting about Gayle King and her composure. She actually was speaking to my colleagues, Vlad and Anne-Marie Green, earlier this morning, saying at no point did she feel that R. Kelly was going to threaten or harm her. But a tweet that you mentioned this morning kind of caught our attention, and you say, now we see exactly how R. Kelly behaves when challenged by a woman. That was your tweet. Now we see exactly how R. Kelly behaves when challenged by a woman. What does this say about his track record, and what did you mean by that tweet?
Well, you know, in Surviving R. Kelly, we heard women talking about not just sexual violence, but physical violence, and how if they didn't like the right basketball team, they would be slapped, they would be hit. And this sense of domineering and control, being domineering and controlling. And that's what it felt like a little bit today. He is towering over Gayle King, who is sitting there being the consummate pro as he is sort of screaming and flailing and crying and this whole sort of dramatic performance. And it just made you wonder that if that's what he does on camera, you know, what is he like when nobody's looking?
Yeah. And, you know, at one point, Gayle tells him, you know, Robert, I want to have a conversation with you. And he kind of calms down and he turns to her and says, I hope the camera's still rolling. And she says, yes, it is still rolling. But, you know, despite all of this, Renee, you mentioned that after the release of Surviving R. Kelly, streams of his music on Spotify increased 16%. R. Kelly does have a fan base. They've shown up after he's been released from jail. But based on the reaction to this interview, what do you think the court of public opinion has to say?
I do think there may be a bit of a shift. I think it did make a difference when his longtime record label dropped him. I think that there's a sense that, you know, it isn't just about the money anymore with R. Kelly, that as someone to be affiliated with him, he's a bit of a liability. So, you know, he may get another bump on certain streaming services, and there may be a curiosity factor there. But I want to believe that the career R. Kelly has had for the last 30 years is effectively over.
Much has been written sort of about the progress within this Me Too era. You've argued that the voices of Black women have been left out. Do you get the sense that people will now take their voices more seriously?
I think what the movement has done is amplify all voices, and I would certainly hope that that would include the voices of Black women among them. You know, the thing we also have to get back to at R. Kelly's, these allegations have been out there for 25 years, a quarter of a century, and it seems like no one has ever really listened. They're listening now. People paid attention when he was arrested, people watched the documentary, and people certainly watched Gayle King's interview with him this morning. So I have to think that their voices at last will be amplified, but it shouldn't just stop with the Kelly accusers. I hope it happens to other Black women as well.
You know, the unfortunate part of the Me Too era, Renee, is it takes moments like these to re-enter the public consciousness, to remind people again over and over again. How do you keep the attention up on a serious issue like this without having these explosive moments to get the world to sort of pay attention?
Well, I think, you know, there has to be a kind of societal shift with Me Too, and I think that's exactly what Tarana Burke had in mind when she founded this a decade ago. You know, it's about these big moments, but it's also about creating safe spaces where victims can tell their stories without repercussions. And I think that's what this comes down to. If it's just a sort of moment where it's R. Kelly on TV and flailing, but a woman in her office or a woman who works in a restaurant or a young man on his hockey team feels like he still has to keep that secret, then the movement isn't doing what it should be doing, and we're not responding to the movement the way we should be.
Well, there you have it, honey. But anyways, yeah, how I feel about the interview, I feel that he wasn't fully admitting every single thing. I feel he was lying on a lot of things. But also I feel that it could be a lot of lies in the documentary too, because a lot of things in the documentary didn't make sense. And one thing he did say that was right about, being a celebrity, you can easily make up lies on celebrities and post it, and it'll be on blogs like if it's facts. And people need to be careful with sharing stories like this, false allegations and rumors, because y'all need to really look up y'all receipts and get the real information, because you can post the wrong story and you will be looking crazy, and it'll be all over the blogs, and a lot of blogs, they be lying. It's like he said, it's a click away to just start a rumor, which it is true. We have social media now, and plus, like I said in my last video, they have been trying to destroy the black men image, with Chris Brown, Bill Cosby, and now R. Kelly. Now they even bringing back the Michael Jackson allegations. You know what I'm saying? It's just like back to back rape on black men. And I'm really getting tired of seeing it in the media. I'm not defending R. Kelly or anybody, because I don't know if he really did this or not. I wasn't there. So I can't judge if he did it or not. I told you in my last video, I think he did do some of the things. I don't think he did every little thing. Some of the things the women could have been saying in that documentary, they could have been lying or overdoing it. Like, they could have been overdoing things and add to the lie. A lot of people do that, okay? They could have added things to the story, add lies. But I really do believe he has did this to some of these women. I really do believe he has, okay? And in the video, he was kind of acting like a victim to me. He was to me. And, that's one thing criminal would do. They would try to place themselves as the victim, and they'll spaz out and do anything in their power to make you believe them by showing emotions and stuff like that. But I really think he was in his feelings, because the media and the press, they're on his ass, and it's things is over his head, these allegations, and it's dragging, another black man down, making him look bad in the media. Like I said in the last video, they're trying to put that rape culture on black men in a black community, when it's always known for their culture as being rape culture. That's all their history is about. It's rape and stealing and killing. That's all it is about. And they're trying to put this rape culture on the black men in the media. Okay, so next, what I want to talk about is Azrael Clary, Joycelyn Savage. I don't know if I pronounced both of their names right. But anyways, these two was also mentioned in the Surviving R. Kelly documentary, but they was not on the show, telling their side of the story of being victims. They parents was actually on the show, and they was saying that they haven't seen their daughters in years, and they haven't contacted their daughters in years. They haven't had a phone call. They don't know if their daughter's alive or dead. They think that R. Kelly is holding them hostage, and they think R. Kelly is brainwashing them, and that they are brainwashed. And they both are strongly denying this. They are actually taking up for R. Kelly and said they have been safe and they are not in harm's way. They are not held against their will, and they are healthy and they are alive. And they said that their parents are liars and they're basically clout chasers. They just want money, and they're using their daughters for money. They basically saying that their parents is pimping them out, to get money from R. Kelly, basically. And they're strongly denying everything that their parents are saying. Once again, their parents keep saying they're brainwashed, So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play a clip of the interview on CBS with Gayle King interviewing them. And I will be back with my commentary.
The two women who live with R. Kelly are defending him and their relationship with him in the strongest terms. 21-year-old Azrael and 23-year-old Joycelyn Savage told us they love Kelly, while their families claim he has brainwashed them.
In an interview you'll see only on CBS this morning, the two women told us there is nothing inappropriate about their arrangement with the 52-year-old singer. What is your relationship, both of you, with R. Kelly?
We're with him. That's our relationship.
We're with him. Yeah,
we
that's what it
him,
is.
And we're in a relationship with him.
Right.
You just said it.
A very strong relationship as well.
Both of you?
Yes, most definitely.
You know, how do we say this without being inappropriate? Is this a three-way relationship, or do you each have a separate relationship with him? How does this work?
Well, both
I'm
of
curious.
those.
Yeah.
We
Both
both
of
have
those?
our individual relationships with him, and
Right.
we all are family all together. We have our moments where we sit and watch movies all together. We go to amusement parks all together.
I'm not talking about Azrael going to movies and sitting watching, going to parks. I'm talking about, is it a three-way sexual relationship?
Sexually, well, first
between
of all,
the
I'm
three
not
of you?
here to talk about my personal life,
Okay.
and I would never share with no one what I do in or outside of the bedroom. And as a woman, I'm sure you would not either.
No, I wouldn't, but
Okay, then. So,
no,
yeah.
no, you're
Next
right.
question.
No, you're right. I would not, but this is a very different circumstance.
It's
and
not
I
a
think
different
it's a fair
circumstance. There are
question.
people all over the world who have multiple girlfriends. It's no different.
Do both of you all believe you're in love with him?
Absolutely.
Course.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course.
Should your
No.
parents be concerned?
No.
Why?
Well, my parents knew where I have always been for 4 years. They have known. They know that I've been well taken care of.
They never thought you were missing, Azrael. They just were wondering if you were okay.
Well, my parents have actually came to Chicago and seen me a few times. I've talked to them. They stopped answering my calls.
You know what they say? They say that you were brainwashed. I talked to your dad last night. He says, my daughter is brainwashed, and he's very concerned. He said he was here 2 days ago, and you wouldn't even look him in the eye.
Okay, I wouldn't look him in the eye because he's a liar, and he's a manipulative liar.
I'll tell you why they're concerned, Azrael, because they say she's 17. We found text messages that indicated that she was having sex with R. Kelly when she was
No.
17. Is that true?
No, that is a lie. That is a lie. I was not having sex with him at 17.
Why would they want to lie about you, their daughter?
Okay, so when I first met Robert, my parents told me to lie about my age. So when I met him, he thought that I was 18. On top of that, when I was 17, my parents were actually making me, trying to get me to take photos with him, take sexual videos with him, all kinds of stuff.
Wait. Your parents encouraged you to do sexual videos
Yes.
with R. Kelly?
Yes. And they said because if they ever have to blackmail him, what they're trying to do now, they can use it against him, which is exactly what they're doing.
Joycelyn, I see you nodding a lot with what
Yes.
she's saying. Why are you nodding in agreement with what she's saying?
Because everything that she's saying is true. Our parents are basically out here just to get money, and
Your
they're
parents,
scamming.
you're saying the same as saying?
Well,
you're
both
saying-
of our parents are basically out here. They're trying to get money and scam because they didn't agree on what happened, you know, with music or wherever it could be, and they're just very upset.
This is the first time hearing, to be honest with you, that your parents are trying to get money from R. Kelly.
Okay.
Because your father told a very different story
Yeah,
to me
well-
last night.
Yeah, he's the manipulative. He's very manipulative, so he's the one you need to watch out for. But my dad and my mom, they started to send threats to both me and him. They said, oh, I'll put all your naked pictures all over the world. I'm going to ruin you. I'm going to ruin him. If he doesn't send $20,000 to this bank account by Monday, oh, I'm going to put everything out there and then $10,000 after that. You're trying to solicit me like I'm some hoe. I'm not. I'm your child.
Exactly.
Yeah, you sound very angry with your parents. You sound very angry and very pained. Tell me, Azrael, why you're crying. Tell me.
I'm crying because you guys don't know the truth. You guys are believing some facade that our parents are saying. This is all lies for money. And if you can't see that, you're ignorant and you're stupid as because you want to be. All because that's the world we live in. Negativity sells.
Exactly.
Gossip is what sells. Rumors are what sells.
Exactly.
But Joycelyn and Azrael, this is more than gossip. This is more than just rumors. These are decades of allegations against Robert Kelly.
We're not here to talk about decades. We're here to talk about what our parents are doing right now.
Right.
And what they're doing right now is all for money.
Right.
Now, both sets of parents deny ever asking Kelly for money or receiving money from him. You know, as I watched as I was talking to them, because I had talked to the father, there are two very different stories. I'm sure Mr. Clary, if he watches this morning, his head will explode because he has a very different version of what these young women are saying. And his team had told us that R. Kelly would not be in the room. After the interview started, he was around the corner behind them. They couldn't see him. But at points during the conversation, he would cough very loudly like that, so they were aware that he was there.
He wanted them to know that he tried to stop the interview backstage a couple times.
Yeah, a couple of times. Laz, who has taken those amazing photos that you've seen, is my makeup artist, who's also a very good photographer, as you also see. R. Kelly came up to him and said, "Should I stop this interview? Should I stop this interview?" He never did. So the girls at some point were certainly aware that he was there. And I just wanted to say, as a mother, get your things, let's go. You are 21, you are 23, and he is 52 years old. And I know many people believe age is just a number. When you're looking at these young women, they parrot a lot of what he is saying.
It's ugly to watch, but abuse is ugly. And the manipulation that continues, and the powerlessness, and trying to feel powerful, and the blame, it's a bad situation.
Yeah. I think one day, years from now, everybody will look back on this and just say it's very sad, very tawdry, and just very, very ugly.
I hope that what comes of this is that people go to the websites, and we should post them too, that his ex-wife talked about, where you can look at the signs of whether you're in an abusive relationship or not, because you'll find out, hey, I'm in 8 of these 10, and then you realize I need help.
Yes. Now, they do not think they're being abused or manipulated or brainwashed, but again, they're 21 and 23.
Well, there you have it, honey. All that tea was spilled. But my opinion about this interview, I just really think it was rehearsed. And the reason why I say I think it was rehearsed is because everything Azrael was saying, joycelyn was just nodding her head like on every little thing she was saying, like, yes, you're rehearsing it correct. Yes, you're rehearsing it correct. Like, that's what I was getting. Like, everything that Azrael said, she was just nodding her head. Like, she was just going along with the act. That's what it looked like it was to me. And it just looked like they just been brainwashed. And like they said, they're so young, like 21 and 23. I'm 24, but I know better. And imagine, them being 14, 15, growing up with this man until their age now. You can tell that they are very brainwashed. And by Azrael breaking down and crying, we already know what she was really crying about. It's the abuse and the manipulation, what she's going through and lying on TV. It just sounded like that's what she was crying about. She wasn't really crying, about the situation, the criticism that they getting from R. Kelly. And when they said all 3 of them was together, I was like, what the hell is this, honey? Now I really believe in that sex cult, because it's like you're in a relationship with 2 young women at the same time, but y'all have separate relationships. That just doesn't make sense to me. And it sounds nasty and it sounds disgusting. Okay, because if they was real women, they would know their worth and not put themselves in this situation. Like, I never believed in threesomes and open relationships and open marriages. Like, I never believe in that type of stuff, because to me it's just weird and it just defeat the purpose of the relationship. And to me, it's not a real relationship, because I gotta be the main one in the relationship. I'm sorry, in that relationship it can't be comfortable. Like, you gotta compete with the other woman, and it's just like, nah, honey, it just gotta be me. Like, that whole situation is just all messed up, and it's just weird to me. Now, in the part when they were saying their parents is lying and just want money and they just want clout, I mean, it could be believable, because there are some money hungry parents out there that will sell out their kids for money. So, I mean, that can be kind of believable, but, if it is true, it just raises more questioning, with the surviving R. Kelly documentary. Like, are y'all bitches lying? Are y'all making up shit? Because these 2 girls are saying that It's nothing wrong with them, and their parents just want some money and they just want clout. So that's what I'm saying. Everything you can question. You know, you don't have to believe it. You can still question, like, maybe what if they're right? Maybe their parents just want money, because it is really parents that's out there like that do this to celebrities for their money. And like I said on my last video, on his first trial with the 14-year-old girl that he urinated on, her parents actually just took the money. So that's just something, to think about. Okay, so now I want to talk about R. Kelly going to jail for not paying child support. So I think he got arrested like a few days after that interview. I pulled up an article and it's from CNN, and it reads on top: R. Kelly going to jail after failing to pay $161,000 in child support to ex-wife. Could. Singer R. Kelly has been taken into custody for failure to pay $161,000 in child support and was jailed Wednesday evening, according to the Cook County Sheriff's Office in Chicago. Supporters are working to get Kelly, 52, out of jail by next Wednesday. Publicist Daryl Johnson told reporters at the Richard J. DeLay Center he came here in good spirits, expecting to walk out. Johnson said he came here to make some arrangements with what he had. I think it was $50,000 or $60,000 that he was willing to pay. When a reporter asked Johnson how Kelly was feeling going back to jail, he replied, depressed, deflated, upset. Johnson said once someone pays he $161,000, Kelly will be freed from jail. According to court documents reviewed by CNN last month, Kelly owed more than $1,069 in unpaid child support to his ex-wife as of February 6th. The court ordered Kelly to make a monthly payment of $20,833 on January 8th, 2009, but Kelly failed to show up to that hearing, the documents state. To avoid being in contempt of court, a judge ordered Kelly to pay $161,663 by Wednesday. Okay, so apparently this is the lady that bailed out R. Kelly from jail. She actually got up some money and used her own money, like from her business that she had, and actually got him out of jail. Now, this right here, I'm going to say this really is some ride or die shit, because you would never catch me doing something like this, especially if you're not sure if he's a pedophile or not. I would never waste my money on a man that I barely know. I just know him by his music, and especially all the allegations that's against him. You would never catch me wasting money on a person, that I don't know for sure if he did these allegations or not, because that will have her looking crazy. If he really did do all these things that these women is saying, she's going to look hella stupid for bailing him out. And she actually wasted so much money, and got it from your own business. Girl, hell to the no. He doesn't even know you. Like, are you serious? Like, I would never do this for a man that can possibly be a pedophile. I don't see myself doing that. But, I'm not going to lie. His fans is ride or die. I'm trying to tell you, this is some ride or die shit. Like, it just seems like he always have a gateway to get out of his situations. Like, it's always somebody stupid enough to fall for his shit. And it's crazy. It's just like he keeps getting let slide constantly. It's weird. But anyways, she has 2 jobs. She works at a daycare in the other place. I forgot where, but she has 2 jobs. She's a businesswoman. And here's a picture of R. Kelly with him out of jail. And they said right after he got out of jail, this nigga went straight to McDonald's. Lord have mercy. I can't. But yeah, they said he went straight to McDonald's. There's a picture of him, at McDonald's. And, people was playing him because I think they said this is the same McDonald's he took the young girls at when he was picking up from school and concerts. It's just crazy. It's funny. Okay, so I pulled up an article more about the story. It says multiple people called in bomb threats to Chicago daycare center where the woman who paid $100,000 to bail out R. Kelly worked. So yeah, this is crazy. So they are calling and threatening this daycare to blow it up and shit like that because she bailed R. Kelly out of jail. And to me, this is kind of wrong because it's innocent children that goes to that daycare. If anything, threaten to blow up her house. Don't threaten to blow up the daycare. It's still innocent children that works there. And I can imagine, how the parents feel with their children going there with bomb threats. So I can definitely see this daycare going out of business soon because the parents, they're going to be wanting to pull their children out of this daycare because of them damn threats. And to me, she just looked hella stupid because it's like you work at a daycare, but you bailed out a pedophile. Like, girl, that does not look right. That doesn't look right. Vanlicia P. Love, I don't know if I pronounced her name right, is the Chicago businesswoman who reportedly covered the $100K bond Monday to secure Kelly's release. And she says there are three sides to every story. Kelly's side, there's the alleged victims, and the truth. The statement seems to acknowledge Kelly is being less than truthful, but Love also told Chicago Fox 32 as a friend if he says he's innocent, I can only believe he is innocent. Love also insists Kelly is not a monster and says there are much more worse problems in Chicago, like hundreds of Catholic priests being accused of sex abuse and a missing woman named Kiera Coles. I mean, she has a point. When especially when she include the Catholic priests, because the Catholic priests, they have been raping the hell out of a lot of young children, and it's mainly young boys they are raping, okay? And it's sad, and they're not doing anything about this, okay? And they chose to forgive these priests, and this is sad, but they only prosecute a black man that do this, but they don't prosecute these fake ass priests, which is a fake religion anyway. It's sad. Valencia makes it clear she's not condoning any of the allegations, saying if he did, it is wrong, but believes Kelly should get the chance to clear his name. As for the bond money, Love claims the $100K wasn't hers. Oh, okay, so it wasn't hers. She also refused to say who did put it up. She claims the singer is not hard up for cash, and she merely helped him get out a few days early. I mean, like I said, she does have some good points, but it's just like, I don't know. To me, she's still kind of supporting it. Like I said, if he did really do this, she's looking crazy. She is still listed as a registered agent at the daycare with the Illinois Secretary of the State, but there has been reports that she no longer works there. Authorities say they haven't found any explosives at the daycare center. Police are still investigating the cause. Okay, so apparently they said she's still a registered agent, but I guess she just don't work there at all, or I don't know what's going on with that. But I guess she still works there, but she just don't work there no more. Something like that. And they said they didn't find any explosives or bombs near the daycare. Okay, so apparently R. Kelly claimed that he had a concert that was already set up before he got into this situation in Dubai. It reads on top, Dubai denies there were plans for R. Kelly's concert. So good God almighty, they said he didn't have no concerts here.
After filing a 5-page motion seeking permission for R. Kelly to travel to Dubai, Kelly's attorney asked for a continuance. In the filing, the attorney stated that Kelly cannot find work in the U.S. because of the criminal charges against him. Today, he says offers are pouring in. He wants to renegotiate the Dubai deal and provide more information for the judge. The request is continued until May 7th. R. Kelly surrendered his passport in February when prosecutors charged him with sexually abusing a woman and 3 girls. The court filing states Kelly is booked to do 5 shows in Dubai and is supposed to meet with the royal family. The motion argues Kelly has lost his record deal and no longer owns the rights to his hit songs. He needs to work to pay child support, rent, legal fees, and other expenses. Kelly spent 3 nights in Cook County Jail after failing to come up with $100,000 for his release in February. A friend posted bond. About 2 weeks later, Kelly ended up back in jail after he could not come up with $161,000 in child support. The United Arab Emirates does not have an extradition treaty with the U.S. World leaders and celebrities on the run have gone to Dubai. Joining Kelly's defense team is an entertainment attorney. He says Kelly has 300 songs in his archives and is ready to work.
This file contains a bunch of emails, probably about 150 emails that we just pulled off an email server that Robert's gotten in the last month and a half of offers to perform in just every place possible you could think on the planet.
This is a big deal, some big accusations. And Mr. Kelly has declared his innocence. In the United States, you're innocent until proven guilty. But, when you are accused of something, it weighs heavy on you. So he's anxious to prove his innocence. He was depressed at first, but right now, he's getting back to things he loves, basketball, music. Once he gets past that, he's ready for trial.
Kelly's lawyers argue that the singer will not be a flight risk. Kelly was allowed to travel overseas ahead of his 2008 child porn trial. His lawyers point out that he never missed a court date. At the Cook County Criminal Courts building at 26 and Cal, Judy Wang, WGN News.
Oh, okay. So I got kind of what I showed y'all, the flipped. I didn't know that she built him out the first time and then he went back to jail 2 weeks later for the child support. Okay, I just got it flipped, but it's okay, guys. You know what I mean. But anyways, man, this is crazy. So yeah, he's asking the judge, can he at least, do those shows in Dubai that he already had planned, because they saying that's the only way he's going to get his income. Which I kind of agree. I think they should let him do something because it's like, how are you going to get the child support if he don't have the money to pay the child support? Now they claim that he, still little money left in the bank. So I think he can afford it, but it's just like, yeah, how is he going to pay all this stuff when he don't have a job, when they cut his music, they cut him from his record label? Like, that is true. Like, how is he gonna even survive or even pay back the things that he owe in child support without having a job? And this is the same thing that actually goes on in the Black community. Like, a lot of Black men be having felonies and it's hard for felons to get jobs. It's certain places where, you can still get a job as a felon, but it's hard, because they don't accept felons. So yeah, they do this a lot in the Black community. Like the Black men, they have a felony, but they owe child support. But it's like, how can they pay child support when they can't get a job because they have felonies? Like, you get what I'm saying? That's what they're doing to R. Kelly. So until then, the Black man is just going to keep going to jail. And, it's the system is built like that for the Black man to keep going to jail because they won't let them get a job as a felon. But it's just like, to be honest, it's just like he put it on himself because he should have just been paid that damn child support. Like, come on, R. Kelly. At that time, you did have money. You should have paid child support. Like, if you're not going to see them, at least pay damn child support. Like, that's all I'm saying. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all a video clip of R. Kelly on Instagram singing to his daughter, "Happy Birthday."
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear daughter Joanne. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, baby. Daddy love you. I love you. No matter what, I love you so much. Mwah. Bye. Happy birthday.
Yeah, but anyways, this is his daughter that he was singing to. He, like I said, he has two other children. He has another girl, another boy. I showed that in my last video. But yeah, I can't imagine how the children feel in the situation with having all these allegations on their dad. I know it's very embarrassing, and they have claimed they have been bullied in school because of this, which is sad because they don't have nothing to do with their dad's actions. But that's good. His daughter, she says she still loves her father, but she just don't respect what he did, and you gotta love him from a distance. You can tell that Andrea raised these children right, and they have respect. And you can tell the girl has a lot of respect, but you can tell she's also hurt for what her dad has done to people. Well, anyways, that is all I got for right now, you guys. You already know what to do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell so you can get the notifications as soon as I post a video on your phone or whatever device you use to watch YouTube, or whatever device you use to watch my video. Okay, and please state your opinion below and tell me how you feel about this whole situation about R. Kelly, these allegations, the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. How do you feel about the two girls that was denying that they're brainwashed and that their parents is lying? They just want money. How do you feel about R. Kelly's friend that bailed him out of jail? How you feel about this child support situation? Like, how you feel about the whole crazy mess, okay? And I will see you guys in the next one.